If you've been watching Tyler Perry's hit TV show Sistas, then you've been privy to the toxicity of the broken relationship between Zach and Karen, which has been painful to watch, especially since we never got to see the good times, full of the fun and romance and laughter. We came in when the show started with Zach having already cheated on Karen multiple times. And later, in season 5, we get to hear Karen reveal just how much pain and misery Zach has truly caused her.
Because of all this dysfunction that you put me through for no good reason, I don't even know how to let a good man, an actual good man, love me.
But Karen doesn't exactly have clean hands either. The way she came after Zach when she thought he put all those charges on her credit card and threw out his deceased grandfather's belongings was just flat out vicious.
Where'd you put it?
Who knows? Hope they throw that shit out.
You.
And showing up at his house in the middle of the night was completely out of pocket. But just like Zach wanted Karen to respect his new relationship with Fatima and leave him alone, he had absolutely no right to disrespect Aaron the way that he did.
Don't. Do on everything.
Don't do
this is stop. Don't do what? You gonna do something?
This.
Yeah, I'm not talking to this corny ass right now.
Nor did he have the right to disrespect Karen the way that he did either.
Let's go.
She's not going nowhere.
She's going somewhere.
She's not going nowhere.
Yes, sir. As a matter of fact, let's go, please.
You're not going nowhere. Don't you grab her.
And the way he came after Karen in that restaurant over that picture was so out of line and made me so angry, I just had to come on here and talk about it. But before we get into the video, please do me a favor and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Thank you. So why do I think that Karen deserved better when they were both toxic in the relationship? Well, for one, at the start of the show, Zach was clearly the one in the wrong. Even though he later claimed that Karen always put him down and never really supported him. According to Karen, she gave him money and financially supported him for years, and also gave him a place to stay because he had no way of even getting his own place. But there was no way for Karen to keep loving Zach and supporting him while he kept on cheating on her. So he had to go, and I don't blame Karen for that. But when she got a new man and tried to show Zach the door, the level of disrespect he showed her was just awful.
You really need to leave. You got your stuff, now go.
Take your keys.
Yeah, give my keys. It's my keys. It's my house. So
You want
your keys.
you want
Yes.
your keys?
Keys. Give my You.
And to me, if you as a man ever make a woman feel so unsafe, she has to run to her kitchen and grab a knife and call the police just to get you to leave, then you have crossed a line into some very dangerous territory, because even toxic arguments should never escalate to the point where now a level of violence is being introduced. At that point, I felt like the two of them should have stopped talking to each other altogether. But of course, they kept going back and forth with each other, saying some very painful things.
Everything that was supposed to be beautiful, and I mean everything, you have ruined for me. I hate that I have wasted 3 years of my life hoping that you would change, hoping that you would give even a fraction of what you took.
She bashing the shit out of me. Talking about all the bad times. Didn't mention none of the good times, or the fact that I did try to give her some money, or the fact that I hated that I couldn't provide. And I even told her that.
But the root of a lot of Karen's pain seemed to stem from seeing Zach move on so quickly to being in love with Fatima. And not only falling in love, but also moving up in the world and buying that house. That beautiful house. Which looked as though Fatima had just swooped in to grab up the best of Zach with none of the suffering and none of the sacrifice that Karen had gone through. And that had to be just gut-wrenching. Not to mention Fatima was infiltrating Karen's tight-knit sister circle and getting pretty chummy with Andy, Karen's absolute best friend. It was as if Fatima was taking over Karen's life, or at least that's likely how Karen might have perceived things. Once she slowly began to just unravel, I really did feel sorry for Karen. And I also agree that it was unfair and sad. Karen felt too broken to love and trust Aaron the way that she wanted to, because she deserved to move on and have a new relationship just like Zach. But finally, a dark cloud broke and Karen decided to mend things with Zach once and for all by season 5. The two exes finally had a come to Jesus moment. They talked, they resolved things, the child support paperwork got signed. Karen gave Zach one last kiss on the cheek and went on about her business, and Zach went about his. But when Karen later went out to eat with Aaron, all holy hell broke loose. Drop down in the comments and let me know what you thought about this whole fight scene in that restaurant, because I felt like Zach was 100% in the wrong. And I was a bit disappointed in Aaron as well, because he allowed Zach to treat him with the utmost disrespect and come into that restaurant hot, standing over Karen as she's sitting down, getting all in her face, banging on the table. I felt like Aaron should have checked Zach as soon as he stormed over to that table to let Zach know. Aaron should have stepped up to protect Karen far more than what he did. But instead, Aaron sat back and let things escalate to the point where Zach started to put his hands on Karen, reaching out and grabbing her, telling her she can't leave, she's not going anywhere. Which made me wonder, what would have happened had she tried to leave and she was all by herself? What would Zach have done to her? Because Zach really was just out of control and had no right to grab her. And that fight was just a hot mess. But again, drop down in the comments and let me know if you thought Zach was justified in his actions or if he was completely in the wrong. Do you think Zach was the more toxic one in the relationship? Or did a majority of the toxicity actually come from Karen? And of course, if you've made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and be sure to click that notification bell. Thank you.